Welcome back. The Army honored America's last living World War I veteran. 107-year-old Corporal Frank Buckles joined defense officials as they unveiled a new World War I veterans portrait exhibit. Photographer David DeYoung donated the 9 portraits for a permanent display in the Pentagon, calling his subjects icons.
Icons that walked, fought, and experienced one of the most evil wars this planet has seen. Icons that stood their ground so that each of us could be here today.
The portraits show the 8 men and 1 woman surrounded by military medals, books, and newspapers of the day. Army officials say the exhibit will be a lasting reminder of those who served in the Great War. 7 of the 9 veterans featured in the exhibit died in the past year.
That's right, Mike. Our medical editor, Dr. Paul Little, spent an afternoon with Corporal Buckles and photographer David DeYoung on Buckles Farm in West Virginia.
It was the summer of 1917. The United States had just entered World War I, and Frank Buckles was raring to go. He was only 16, so he lied about his age to get in.
I couldn't give my occupation as schoolboy, so I called myself a bank clerk.
The war was raging in France, so he asked the recruiter about the best way to see some action.
He said, to get to France in a hurry, you should join the ambulance service, because the French are begging for ambulance service.
And that's exactly what he did. His first assignment was in Kansas at the Fort Riley Casual Detachment.
One thing, I never complained about the Army, because I knew what was expected, and I wanted to go in.
And off he went to England and then France. His job was to transport the wounded to care.
Remember when we took that portrait?
Yeah, that's my 7th Regiment necktie.
Photographer David DeYoung's mission and passion over the last 13 years is documenting living history books like Buckles, and he's donating his World War I survivor portraits to a special gallery at the Pentagon.
Germany. There are 2 left in the United States, 3 in North America, 14 in the world. These are the last voices, the last breaths, the last first-hand account, the last first-hand witness to not only you and I and our generation, but my children and their children, their children's children's.
But Frank Buckles isn't interested in becoming a museum piece just yet. He's looking forward to a few more years. And what's his secret to long life and happiness?
I love the cigars and the pipe. But what is important, you must have a desire to live. You got to. That's where so many of them fail.
Like that, and so you just got. And now, with his memories preserved for generations to come, he might die, but he's not going to fade away. Dr. Paul Little, Charlestown, West Virginia.
Good story. Think you want to live to 107?
At the rate I'm going, I'll be lucky to live to 37.